So, Kamaru Usman and Joaquin Buckley are fighting this Saturday. The former champion Kamaru Usman is coming back after a year and a half layoff, and he's riding a 3-fight losing streak. Not only that, but he's also 7 years older than Joaquin Buckley. That's a significant age discrepancy right there. According to BetMMA.tips, which has an MMA fighter's age tool which tracks fights from the UFC and other big promotions, fighters who are 5 years younger win 64% of the time. That got me wondering about some of the biggest age gaps that the older fighters were able to overcome during 2025 in the UFC. And here I have a top 10 for you, so let's get right into it. At number 10, we have Asamat Murzakanov, who beat Brenson Hibero at UFC 316, overcoming an 8-year difference between them. Murzakanov was also on the wrong side of the height and reach equation, so a very impressive performance by the Southpaw. The professional is still undefeated in his professional MMA career. At number 9, we have Gabe Green, who submitted Mateus Camilo at UFC Fight Night Burns vs Morales. Green, also 8 years older, got an impressive rear naked choke submission on the first round. At number 8, we have Jared Cannonier, who put out Gregory Rodriguez in the main event of their fight night. The at the time 40 years old Jared Cannonier was able to find the knockout at the beginning of round number 4, proving that he's still going strong at the middleweight division. At number 7, we have Jake Matthews, who beat the young Francisco Prado at UFC 312. Matthews, who himself was a young prodigy in the sport once, played the role of a veteran here, earning a unanimous decision victory against his 8 years younger opponent. Coming at number 6, we have Marcin Tybura, who was able to scrap a controversial decision victory against Mick Parkin at UFC Fight Night Edwards vs Brady. The Polish fighter was 10 years older than the British. Number 5 belongs to Carlos Vera, who got a big upset against Josias Musasa at UFC Fight Night Vettori vs Dolitze 2. Vera, who was 11 years the elder in the matchup, found a head kick and was quick to find a rear naked choke to seal the deal. By the way, here's him wearing a Pivots Don't Work in MMA t-shirt designed by yours truly. Get yours in the description below. At number 4, we have Angela Hill, who once again was able to beat a young up-and-comer in Ketlin Souza. Despite an improved performance by Souza, the UFC veteran Angie Hill was able to go home with the victory, despite her opponent being 11 years younger than her. On third place, we have one of the biggest upsets of the year, as Raoni Barcelos took a unanimous decision over rising star Peyton Talbot at UFC 311. Barcelos used a wrestling-heavy approach to stop the rise of the prospect. Raoni was 11 years the elder during fight night. For our second place, we have Rob Font, who beat the promising Brazilian Jan Matsumoto. Despite being 12 years older than him, in what was a great fight, Font used his jab and counters to deal with the aggression and leg kicks of the young prospect here. And finally, the first place belongs to Amanda Lemos, who at UFC 313 beat the prodigious 23 years old Yasmin Lucindo. Lemos was able to overcome a 14-year age gap, not only with craft but also with her athleticism, showing that truly for some fighters, age is just a number. And with that, we conclude the list and the video. Do you guys think Usman will be able to overcome the age gap come Saturday night? What are some of your favorite performances in which an older fighter beat a young gun? Let me know in the comments. Subscribe to the channel and check the links in the description if you want to support the channel too. See you guys on the next one. Thank you for watching.